Welcome back to Reef and Pondwise. I had to run back in the house and grab my phone. Now I'm back out on the deck. The reason I had to go get my phone is there were several ducks in my pond. And I'm a little disappointed because ducks don't normally show up this early in the year. Today is March the 7th, 2021. And they never show up until it gets warmer, like late spring. So I have no idea what the heck they're doing here, but it is a cold, brisk day, and as you can see, this side of the pond is completely frozen over. Even the de-icer is frozen on the edge. It's that cold. This side, there's no ice, and the reason for that is not only the ducks. The ducks were swimming around the pond. I got the aeration going, and I got that de-icer, so there's literally no ice on top of this pond. Now I want to make sure that all my fish are good. You know, ducks are not our friend for just two primary reasons, in my opinion, my experience, and that is, one, they poop in your water, and that leads to poor water quality, and they carry parasites and salmonella, and those can be passed along to your fish, right? So they typically are considered predators too, because they will go after some of these smaller fish. Any fish that are, usually 5 inches or smaller. And it looks like they didn't get any because I came out and shooed them away fast enough. So for those of you that saw my video earlier in the week, I explained exactly what this pole is for. And this pole is designed to support a net. And I usually take the nets off after the leaves are done falling, which was last fall. And ironically enough, I just took these two poles off that I had on this side supporting a net. And you don't want to leave a net on during the winter time because of the weight of the snow. It could collapse the poles and put your net into the pond. So today's video is going to be how to net a pond properly. So let me show you what I got going over here. These are the poles that I removed, and I just set them over here by the fence because I didn't have time to put them under the deck. So that's a good thing. Just gonna pick these up, put them over here. This is how easy this is. Yeah, I shouldn't have took them down, actually. Should have just left them up. So I did that one-handed. I got the phone in one hand, and I've got I had the poles in the other hand. Now, guys, these are just regular PVC electric tubes. So they're electrical, not the plastic PVC that you would use for plumbing. And the reason I use these is because, one, they're thin. Two, they come in gray, and they're very easily paintable. I painted mine black because it's aesthetically looks much better. Excuse me. And I put these posts on the side of my pond, and they're like 12 inches long. I go about 8 inches in, but you got about 4 inches exposed. And really, all you do is take one side and slip it on. Take this one, slip it on. Walk across to the other side of the pond. I've got the same posts on this side. I just got to find them. Now these posts, that's what I'm looking for over here. All the posts are angled at a 45-degree angle. And the reason why is because you don't want your post to be flat against the top of or edge of the pond, you want a slight bow to it. Yeah, this is poor planning. I wasn't planning on making a video today on doing this, but oh, here it is. All right, so you can see there's the post right here. That's all you do. You bend that up. Slide that down. And you've got your arch. Same thing over here. This one's easy. It's exposed right here. 45-degree angle. And then slide it down. And you've got your arches. Now this is really sturdy. And when you put the pond netting on, it'll lay right on top. And so all you do is grab the ends of these ropes, just like this. And you can see I still left the stake over here from the other day when I took them down. And you just stake them in and hold that string. And this is a heavy-duty nylon utility string. Once you do that, you put your netting over the pond. And that keeps two things from happening. One, the pond water hitting the net, which looks horrible. And when you have your netting sitting right on top of the water, it's bad for the fish, because I've had fish actually get stuck in the netting and have their gills grab the netting and they twist around, they hurt themselves, and it's just not a good situation. So this string here, grab it, take it on the back of the pond, and we would do the same thing. And here's the stake that I used the other day to take them off. So you can see that's extremely sturdy, right? So the best thing to do once you're done is put your netting on, and it's that simple, guys. So if you found this video helpful, please hit the subscribe button, support the channel. If you have any questions or comments or ways that you net your pond, please leave them in the comments below. Oh, by the way, before I let you guys go, I wanted to show you a couple of situations. Today has not been a good day in the fish keeping hobby. I ran into these ducks and went ahead and threw those supports back up real quick for the netting to keep them out. So I'll probably end up putting netting back on them later tonight. Or I may put some pond dye in the pond if I see these ducks coming back. So I'm going to take you in here and show you what happened with one of my reef tanks. And a little disappointed because you can see that this is a tube anemone in one of my reef tanks. And he was here. You can see they love to have their sand bed that's about 4 to 5 inches deep. And so he was here for months. They only usually move when there's an issue with water quality, and there is no issue with water quality. I think maybe he moved because the flow was too strong. But anyway, he has a lethal sting, and I'm afraid that he's damaged my zoanthid colony there. So I got to get in there and move that today. But he was here for months. And then last night, he decided to move in the middle of the night over to here. And, you know, I love the tube anemones. They've always been one of my favorites. But I certainly don't want them stinging all my other coral. And he just decided to go underneath this little ledge. And there he lies, stinging my zoanthids. And I've got a colony, of mushrooms over there. So he got that as well. Now, in addition to that, I had an issue last night with my Oscar in my freshwater tank. I came down this morning, he's got this eye thing happening, which looks to me like it's Popeye. But I looked at the Popeye description online, and it doesn't really kind of match up completely. I'm wondering if he maybe rubbed against one of these sticks on the log, one of these branches, and maybe scratched his eye. This guy's one of my favorite fish, and he looks fantastic. Other than that eye, all of a sudden. So all this happened literally in overnight. I got this guy that has an eye issue. I got my anemone that has left his spot and decided to move after months of being in the same spot. And unlike this kind of anemone, this is a rose bubble tip anemone. He's been here for, I don't know, ever since I put him in the tank. So they don't move. You know, once you get them settled in and they like the water quality and they have a home that they love, they don't move. I am totally shocked that that anemone has left his tube and went underneath this darn ledge. So I'm perplexed today, guys. It just goes to show you that in this hobby, not everything goes smoothly all the time. There's constantly challenges. I don't care if you have a pond. I don't care if you have a freshwater fish tank or a reef tank. There's always some